Imagine pulling into your driveway after a long day, only to find your HOA president lurking like a vulture, clipboard poised to peck at your life. But what if that violator she's harassing turns out to be married to the county sheriff, and her petty power trip unravels into a full-blown scandal that lands her in prison? In the sun-drenched suburbs of Willow Creek, California, where manicured lawns hid simmering resentments, Mark Thompson tinkered under the hood of his vintage Jeep. The kind of weekend project that screamed normal guy. The air smelled of fresh-cut grass and faint barbecue smoke from down the block. But tranquility shattered when a shrill voice pierced the calm. "Excuse me, sir. This is unacceptable." Mark straightened up, wiping grease from his hands. And there she was, Evelyn Hargrove, HOA President Extraordinaire, with her pearl necklace gleaming like a noose and a smile that could curdle milk. Her blonde highlights caught the light as she jabbed a finger at the patrol SUV parked neatly in the driveway. Commercial vehicles are strictly prohibited overnight. It's right there in the covenants, page 12. Subsection 4. We must maintain our community's aesthetic integrity. Mark sighed, leaning against the Jeep's fender. He'd heard the whispers about Evelyn, how she'd find the Garcias for a bird feeder that attracted unsightly wildlife, or badgered old Mr. Patel into repainting his mailbox because the shade of beige was offensively outdated. But Mark? He'd kept his head down, even when rumors swirled that he was some deadbeat mechanic running an illegal shop from home. That's not commercial, Evelyn. It's my wife's work vehicle. She puffed up like a peacock in a pantsuit. Government plates, sirens, the whole 9 yards. It's practically a billboard for chaos. Think of the children. What if it scares them? Mark bit back a laugh. The children in question were teenagers blasting music 3 doors down, unbothered by anything short of a zombie apocalypse. Just then, the front door creaked open, and out stepped Lisa Thompson, Mark's wife, in full sheriff's uniform, her badge catching the afternoon sun like a wink from fate. She sauntered over, coffee mug in hand, eyeing Evelyn with the cool detachment of someone who'd stared down actual criminals. "Everything okay here?" Evelyn blinked, her composure cracking just a hair. "Your vehicle is in violation. It disrupts the neighborhood's serenity." Lisa tilted her head, that polite smile masking a storm. "Serenity? Like how you serenely fined Mrs. Lopez for her holiday lights last year, claiming they caused light pollution?" Evelyn straightened her blouse. "That was to preserve property values. And this? This is non-negotiable." Mark crossed his arms, watching silently as Evelyn dug her heels in, her voice dripping with faux concern. "If you won't comply, I'll have to escalate this to the authorities." Lisa chuckled softly, a sound that sent a chill through the air. "Go ahead. Escalate." Evelyn's eyes narrowed, mistaking the calm for weakness. She whipped out her phone, dialing with dramatic flair, as if summoning the cavalry for a parking apocalypse. "Yes. Hello? I'd like to report an illegal vehicle in a residential zone. It's endangering our community's standards." Mark exchanged a glance with Lisa, his patience a thin veneer over years of quiet observation. He'd endured the neighborhood gossip, Evelyn spreading tales that he was shady, that his Jeep repairs were a front for something sinister. But he knew better than to snap. Instead, he noted every absurdity, every overreach, filing them away like ammunition. 15 minutes later, 2 squad cars pulled up. Lights off but presence unmistakable. Neighbors peeked from windows, the cul-de-sac turning into an impromptu theater. Evelyn waved them over triumphantly, her face flushed with self-righteous glee. "Officers, That SUV right there, it's a blatant violation. The lead deputy, a burly guy named Ramirez, stepped out. Notepad ready. Ma'am. Who's the owner? Lisa advanced, her uniform commanding instant respect. That'd be me. Deputy. Ramirez's eyes widened. Sheriff Thompson? What the? Evelyn's smug grin faltered, her clipboard slipping slightly. Sheriff? But the rules apply to everyone. Lisa turned to her, voice steady but laced with irony. Actually, Evelyn, state law trumps your little binder. California Civil Code 4740, HOAs can't restrict law enforcement vehicles at an officer's residence. Nice try. Though, really upholds that community spirit you're always preaching about. Evelyn's mouth gaped like a fish on dry land, color draining from her cheeks as the deputy stifled smirks. This is outrageous. I demand you ticket it. Ramirez cleared his throat. Ma'am. She's the boss. And filing a false report? That's misuse of emergency services. Evelyn backpedaled, her voice pitching higher. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? Mark finally spoke, his tone dry as desert sand. Maybe by not assuming everyone's a rule breaker except you. The deputies nodded to Lisa and drove off, leaving Evelyn stewing in humiliated silence. She muttered something about proper channels and stormed away, her heels clicking like retreating gunfire. Mark and Lisa shared a quiet laugh, but Mark's mind was already turning. This wasn't over. Evelyn's type didn't quit, they escalated. 2 days later, Mark returned from his shift at the auto shop to find a neon pink violation notice slapped on their front door, sealed with HOA tape that screamed official business. It read, unauthorized commercial activity detected. Law enforcement vehicle poses a hazard to neighborhood tranquility. Immediate removal required or face fines up to $500 daily. Signed with Evelyn's looping scrawl. It was pure pettiness wrapped in legalese. Lisa read it aloud, her eyebrows arching. Tranquility? Says the woman who once cited a kid's lemonade stand for unlicensed vending. Mark nodded, his quiet endurance cracking into calculated resolve. He'd been the neighborhood's punching bag long enough, rumors of his shady dealings fueled by Evelyn's whispers at meetings. But now? Time to fight back smart. Lisa dove into research mode, pulling up statutes and precedents on her laptop while Mark brewed coffee. She's overstepping big time, Lisa said, printing a stack of documents. This could qualify as harassment. They drafted a cease and desist, citing not just the vehicle law but HOA overreach under the Davis-Sterling Act. Mark hand-delivered it to the HOA office, slipping it into the Dropbox with a note, for your records, since you love paperwork so much. Whispers rippled through the neighborhood, the Thompsons weren't rolling over. But Evelyn? She doubled down, her fear of losing control manifesting in increasingly ridiculous edicts. At the next block party, which she mandated attendance for community bonding, she cornered the Millers about their non-conforming garden gnomes, all while shooting glares at Mark. Some people think they're above the rules, she sniffed loudly to a cluster of nodding sycophants. Mark overheard, smiling inwardly. Let her talk, every word was another nail in her coffin. Then came the leaks from within. Harold Voss, the HOA's timid secretary, slipped Mark an email chain during a casual dog walk. I shouldn't. But she's making decisions without votes. Like that fine on Nguyen's for their eco-friendly solar panels, called them eyesores. Mark scanned the docs, unilateral fines. Ignored appeals. Why tell me? Harold shrugged, glancing around. You're not afraid of her. And honestly, I'm tired of her acting like Queen Bee. Mark filed it away. Sharing with Lisa. They started a discreet network, neighbors venting stories over backyard fences. The blind widow fined 4 faded curtains visible from the street. The veteran cited for a flagpole that exceeded height limits by 2 inches. Each tale painted Evelyn as a tyrant cloaked in civility. Her for the greater good mantra a thin veil over control freakery. Lisa met with a former HOA lawyer from across town. Cross-referencing bylaws with state regs. She's bending rules to suit her ego, the lawyer said. But push back with facts. And she'll crumble. Mark, ever the observer, noticed Evelyn's Lexus parked oddly one night, outside a UPS store in the next county. Odd. But noted. The tension built like a pressure cooker. Evelyn's visits increased. Her smiles faker. Her threats veiled in friendly reminders. I hope you're not stirring trouble. Mark, she said one afternoon. Clipboard in tow. We all want harmony. He replied mildly. Harmony? Like how you harmoniously ignore the pothole repairs while fining folks for cracked sidewalks. Her eyes flashed. But she retreated. Muttering about ungrateful residents. The bombshell dropped when Harold showed up at their door one evening. Flash drive in hand. Sweat beading on his brow. Look at this before she finds out. Plugged in. It revealed the HOA's raw finances, not the polished reports from meetings. Thousands diverted to consulting fees for a firm owned by Evelyn's brother-in-law. A ghost company with a mailbox address. Fake invoices for landscaping that never happened. Security audits that were fiction. She's been skimming, Harold whispered. I thought it was legit at first. Lisa's eyes hardened. This is embezzlement. And with her position? Fiduciary breach. Mark felt a surge of dark satisfaction, the rumors about him paled against this real crook. They copied everything. Lisa looping in her contacts at the DA's office quietly. No fanfare, just steady. Patient dismantling. Word spread like wildfire in dry grass. Neighbors who'd feared Evelyn's wrath now shared their own evidence, overcharged dues. Ignored maintenance. The pool renovated with funds that vanished. The clubhouse roof leaking despite repairs. Mark organized informal chats, coffee in garages. Walks with printouts, building a dossier that exposed Evelyn's empire of absurdities. She sensed the shift. Her actions growing frantic. A mass email blasted the neighborhood, beware of agitators undermining our standards. Subtle digs at certain residents with questionable backgrounds, clearly aimed at Mark. He laughed it off with Lisa. Questionable, says the lady funneling cash to family phantoms. The climax hit at the emergency HOA meeting. Called amid the brewing storm. The community hall buzzed with tension. Folding chairs crammed with residents who'd had enough. Evelyn stood at the podium. Suit impeccable but hands twitching. Thank you for attending. There are baseless accusations circulating, Lisa stood. Stack of evidence in hand. Mark at her side. Baseless? Like these bank transfers to your relative's shell company? She distributed copies. The room erupting in murmurs. Evelyn's face twisted, first confident denial. Then shock as Harold rose. I confirm it. No board approval. Gasps rippled, someone yelled. Thief! Evelyn stammered. This is for efficiency. Property values, but Lisa cut in sharp. Efficiency? Like efficiently pocketing $40,000 while the playground rots? The vote was swift, Evelyn ousted. Her empire crumbling as the AG's office was notified mid-meeting. In the aftermath, investigators swarmed, state auditors. Cyber experts uncovering her tampered records to expand HOA jurisdiction illegally. Evelyn's house seized. Assets frozen. She faced indictment, fraud, conspiracy, the works. She vanished in a rented truck. Blinds drawn. But not before a pathetic anonymous note to the Thompsons, "You'll pay for ruining me." Lisa shredded it with a smirk. Ruining? You did that yourself. The neighborhood bloomed, transparent budgets. Community gardens. No more nonsense fines. Mark, once the whispered troublemaker, became the quiet hero. His patience vindicated. The trial sealed it, guilty on all counts. 8 years behind bars. As Evelyn stood, handcuffed and hollow-eyed, Lisa whispered from the gallery. "Called the cops on the wrong driveway." Huh. Oak Ridge breathed free. A testament to standing firm against petty tyrants. But here's the question that lingers, in a world of overreaching rules. Was Evelyn the real villain? Or just a symptom of a system that lets clipboard warriors play God, until someone smarter plays better?